Greetings, global Africans. This is King Etchu from Southern Cameroon and Bazonia. I want to have a discussion about the French doctors who propose on live TV using Africans as guinea pigs for the coronavirus. Now, many Africans have spoken against such nonsense, which they have the right to, including DJ Drogba and Sameto, calling it racism. But I, King Etchu, says this is not racism. It's not. This is a system that has been set up by the West and Arabs, and then Asians are also using it to downplay Africans, that Africans are not human enough. Africans, as a matter of fact, has been proclaimed by the United States that they are blacks are 3/4 of human beings. So the rest of the world sees Africa from that perspective. They don't see us as humans. They have questioned our humanity for over 400 years. They used us as slaves. Arabs came in, brutalized many Africans, took many blacks from Africa and used them as slaves. They still continue to use Africans in African Arab nations as slaves till today. So the whole world see black people as non-human. As a matter of fact, the whole world question the humanity of African people. So this is not racism. This is beyond racism. So calling it racism is just it's the same drama that Africans will say, oh, this is racism, this is racism. And guess what? Nothing gets done. And do you know why nothing gets done? Because Africans are in lust. They're not in love. They're in lust with everything that is non-African. They're in lust with Arabs. They're in lust with Westerners or whites or Europeans. They're in lust with Asians. Which is why the government of African people allow the Chinese to come in and do whatever they want to do. They allow the Western nations to come in to do what they want to do in Africa. Africa doesn't have the power, or they haven't set the power to stop all this nonsense. And the only way forward is unification of Africa. And for African people to stop being in lust, not in love, but in lust with everything that is non-African. In lust with Chinese people, in lust with Westerners, in lust with everything that is non-African. We must stop this nonsense because we African people we are on our own. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. The world looks down on African people. With this little coronavirus nonsense, the world is now questioning Asians or Chinese people for bringing in coronavirus, and the Chinese people feel that they're being racist towards them. But how long has black people been going through with racism, discrimination, colonization? And when is it going to stop? It's never going to stop unless the African people come together and create a united nation, United States of Africa, and which would create the economic power that would depend on African people around the world, so that this racism will have to stop. In order for it to stop, we must make it stop. We, the African people, must come together and make sure that racism all over the world, across African people, must be stopped. And to do that, we must be united. To do that, we must stop being in lust with everything that's non-Africa. To do that, we must create a powerful economic system that will benefit the people of African people. But so long as we don't look at the issues that concern African people and iron them out, like Samuel is calling this racism, but he forgets that black people are killing black people inside Cameroon. French Cameroonians are killing Southern Cameroonians. He hasn't said nothing about that. Oh, now he's going to call this racism. It's the stupidity of black people. This is the foolishness of black people. You want to stop racism? Africa must be united. For Africa to be united, better government and better leadership must be put in place. But this is not going to stop African people. No matter what, how many videos we do, no matter what we say, no matter how we call this racism, it's just another saying, oh, black people are saying bullshit again. In order for Africa to change the dynamic of what is happening with the African people globally, a Pan-African revolution must be put in place, must happen. A Pan-African revolution must happen. Pan-Africanism will be the new religion, must be the new religion for African people. Not Christianity, not Muslim religion, not other religion, but Pan-Africanism. You have to think black, be proud to be black, and stop getting married with people who are non-black. Because that's the first thing. If you're getting married to Asian people, getting married to white people, getting married to other races, you're looking down on yourself as a black people, because the rest of the world look down on you. So thinking that you're going to get married to French, for people from France or white French people or other Europeans. As a matter of fact, I forgot to say this, Somalia sent doctors in Italy to help the case of coronavirus. But these French doctors, and I'm quite sure after the coronavirus will be over, Italy will still want to use Africans as a guinea pig to do whatever they want to do, because they question our humanity. They question black humanity. That's what they're questioning. That's what they have been questioning since they came to Africa. They question black humanity. They had the first black president in the United States. What did they do? They called the president's wife a monkey. A monkey. The first black president in the United States, white people call her. The first president's wife was called a monkey. What is that? Questioning the humanity of black people. It won't stop. It's not going to stop. Human beings will always be human beings. They'll do what human beings do, especially when they are of different races. Black people are 3/4 of a human people or human race. That has been proclaimed by white people. That is how the rest of the world sees us, even though they don't say it, but that's how they see us, which is why it will give the guts, the courage for these foolish French doctors to come on live TV and say that they're going to use blacks as guinea pig. As a matter of fact, white supremacist group in the United States are saying they're going to use the coronavirus to kill many black people as a weapon. So no matter where you look at, something is happening to question the humanity of black people, to test, to continue to push forward, to destroy black people. But for black people to stop, make sure that this must stop, they must come together. Black Africans first. Africans first. That's the only way forward. A United States of Africa. We must create this so that we can create the economic power and create the military power and create whatever we need to sustain the livelihood of African people and to defend the livelihood of African people. If we don't do that, this will never stop. White supremacy is being used by any other nation in the world against black people. Chinese use white supremacy. The Indian people use white supremacy against black people in the world. The system has been established. So how are we going to change the system? Is to make sure that we come united together as African people. Pan-Africanism, Dr. Marcus Garvey set the ball for us. Great leaders, African leaders, Kwame Nkrumah set the ball for us. There are so many African leaders who have set the ball for us to continue a United States of Africa. It's a dream, but it's a dream that must become a reality. Because if it doesn't become a reality, the humanity of African people will be questioned and pushed forward from generation to generation to generation, and it will never stop. Pan-Africanism is the religion for all African people in the world. This is King Etchu. Till next time.